This is a brief overview of the final exam. There are only 3 questions, as you will notice, from the last 3 chapters we have covered. So the first question is from chapter 11. I ask you to discuss the differences between the US and other developed nations. So as the question is asking, you're going to look at the US and the developed nations. And I pointed you to some pages to look at. And so cite those differences. Analyze the schooling revolution and the 6 traits that David Whitman found in his study of secondary schools. Also discuss Geoffrey Canada's efforts and summarize how the school he founded does things differently from a typical public school. Explain how the federal government could use a progressive tax code and the reduction of residential segregation to address social inequalities. Finally, discuss your opinion regarding the possibility that any of the ideas discussed on pages 459 to 464 will ever be used in the US. Of course, that last part is just your opinion, but please make certain that you are supporting your opinion with some examples or at least some way of telling me how you reached your conclusion or why, on what you are basing your opinion. Okay, and of course, for the other parts of the question, please make sure that you are providing support for your statements. Don't just make a statement and then you move on. Make sure you're supporting the statements. Question 2 from chapter 10. Explain in detail how family, peers, schools affect the persistence of sexism. So there's a lot of evidence that within these social institutions of family, peers, and schools, we're influenced by the people around us, and we are not always aware that some of the things that we're learning are sexism. One quick example is, think about how if you tell someone one day, I'm going to the doctor because I am not feeling well. And the next time you see that person is very likely to ask you, did you go to the doctor? Yes. What did he say? We automatically assume or say, what did he say? It's a rare person who automatically says, what did she say or what did they say? So that's just an example of how invasive sexism is. We don't even think about it. We just assume and expect certain things. And whether we realize it or not, we may act according to those expectations. Analyze the pair of challenges that employed women can encounter. Again, you see the pages there for you to take a look at and review. Discuss the unique challenges Black and Latinx women face due to their intersectionality and at least 2 available resources that they have. Okay. Have you experienced sexism in your lifetime? And yes, men, you can experience it too. Quick example, expecting that just because you're a male, you will know how to fix cars, or you'll know how to be handy around the house, fix things. That's an example of sexism. How did you handle it? Okay, what did you do? Just give me one example, give me the details. If you're somebody who has never experienced sexism, please discuss an instance in which you witnessed sexism. How did you approach the situation? Did you say something? Did you do something or nothing? The final question, analyze the influence of race on peer and friendship patterns and discuss the 4 findings regarding cross-race friendships. Explain how the US has defined race and discuss how social Darwinism and the eugenics movement played a role in 19th century America. I don't know that before you study this chapter that you understood, I'm sure some of you did, but that all of you understood that there was a time when these 2 ideas were subscribed to by a number of people in the United States. We tend to think that it's just the white supremacists from the bad old days, but it was also, quote, educated people or professionals who also subscribe to some of these ideas. Analyze the current view of immigrants seeking asylum in the US. I should say in the US. Have we learned anything from the past? Explain your answer. Think about what's going on, maybe look at some current news reports, and what's your idea? We once treated immigrants in a particular way. Now we treat them in the way we do in the 21st century. How much has changed? Maybe a lot, maybe not so much. Just explain your idea to me. Finally, why do you think race is such a complex topic to discuss in the US? Okay, that's it. Again, I know that many of you will study and do very well. If you didn't do as well last time, try making an outline at the very least.